adventure all the way. I'm Emma, a homeschooling mum of 3 in the UK, and this is my big sister, Stacey. I'm asked all the time about what my family think about my parenting choices and about home educating.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I thought, why don't we ask ourselves on camera? I've also got a list of other questions that we have also answered, that I've answered for Stacey over on her channel, which is... She has fibromyalgia. She has fibromyalgia. She has a slight delay of a few seconds before she answers the question.
I was like, I'm not expecting questions at this moment in time. You're not reading off of the sheet. What do you mean? My channel is called We Are #Casey Lake, which is me and my wife, where we chat about chronic illnesses and making life simpler by using technology and other gizmos and gadgets, as well as forward thinking and planning about how to cope with your life with a chronic illness.
Awesome.
Spreading awareness.
So we had one question from a friend of mine who asked how are we related. Now this is a person who went to school with me and probably knows I don't have actually any biological siblings. So how do I have a sister sitting right here? The plot thickens.
You don't. I'm a hologram.
So my dad and Stacey's mum have been together for about 20...
Stacey's mum has got it going on.
She really does.
Sorry.
They've been together about 20 years and we've been raised that entire time as sisters. We've lived together, we've shared a room together, not recently. And and we've even shared a bed at one point when Stacey's bedroom was being redecorated. We even shared a double bed, which neither of us liked.
No, because you sleep like a starfish.
Yeah. A violent starfish. Like,
violent starfish. And I have fibromyalgia, so every kick really hurts.
Yeah. And she snores like...
Not anymore.
Okay, you used to snore like a buffalo.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. But I would starfish around and hit you in the face and it would take her ages to fall asleep and then she'd be exhausted and then she'd snore and then I'd be like, will you stop snoring? Yeah.
Wake me up and then you would fall asleep and you'd starfish again and I'd be like, will you stop starfishing?
So there we go, that's how we're related. Annoyingly related. And the other one was who's older and who's younger.
I am very obviously the youngest. Sorry, the oldest.
It's that fibromyalgia again.
Damn thing. No, I am older by 4.5 years.
Okay. So
that.
Question number 1.
What is your dog doing?
What's your dog doing in the corner? He's like...
He's making his bed.
Digging. Anyway, what do you like most about me, your darling sister?
It has to be your kindness.
I was going to say not how humble I am.
No. No, it is your kindness. You would... Don't scoff at that young man.
The dog just went...
Yes, your kindness. Well, you didn't give him any of your chocolates.
No, I didn't, because it would poison him.
Quite. He doesn't realise that. No, it's definitely your kindness as a person. You would give your last 10 pence to somebody else who needed it more. You give your time and your effort. You research stuff. Like, you found out I had something called fibromyalgia, which none of us had ever heard of. And you went
like,
straight...
have you looked up at this?
Yeah. And it was straight online. She was Googling about it. She was finding out different coping mechanisms for me.
I remember sending you a list of anti-inflammatory smoothies.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, all that jazz. And yeah, you wouldn't have done that if you weren't so kind.
Aww.
So yeah, my favourite thing about you is your kindness. Don't ever do that again.
So this leads me on to the next question. Who is the most annoying and why?
You, because you are.
Me?
You are definitely the most annoying.
Why?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm the little sister, that's my job.
Yeah, and why?
Is there anything specific?
I think it's probably, I mean, it's not your fault, obviously. It's probably your ADHD that makes her so annoying.
I'm like a cheetah to your sloth.
Yeah, I'm a sloth. I move very slowly and I think about things for a long time, and then Emma comes in and she whirlwinds everywhere and then she whizzes back out again and I'm like, what just happened? But yeah, so your annoyingness is your ADHD-ness.
Number 3, what do we have in common?
We giggle a lot. I think we have pretty much the same sense of humour.
Which is really silly.
Really silly sense of humour. Really can be dirty sense of humour.
Love a good dirty joke.
Absolutely, darling.
Feel free to send them to me on Instagram.
But not like that bloke who messaged my wife this morning.
He was really creepy.
He was very creepy.
I thought there was going to be an unsolicited.
I thought there was going to be a picture of a part of his anatomy that I did not want to see.
Yeah, especially as they're gay. They really don't want to see that. I mean, I'm straight and I won't want to see it either, to be fair.
Well, I'm bi. Yeah. I'm more to the lesbian side of bi, but...
Lesbinum. You put the bi in lesbian.
Lesbian.
Doesn't sound right, does it?
That sounds like a man's name.
What's your name? Lesbian. What an unfortunate name. If that's your name, I'm sorry that we're not
sorry.
working with you.
We've never heard of you, but we're sorry anyway.
Okay, so number 4. How are we complete opposites? Apart from being really fast and really slow.
Okay, how are we complete opposites?
See, I have an idea of how I would answer this question, but I'm really interested in what you're going to say.
Well, I haven't had a look at your question, so this is like straight on the spot, candid camera kind of thing. What was the question?
How are we complete opposites?
We are complete opposites in... our hair is completely opposite. Mine, although mine is freshly dyed, you've not dyed yours.
No, in about 5 years.
Yeah. Whereas mine tends to change colour a lot. Although I think I'll stick with the red now. Because, you know, I only did it this morning and I think it looks alright.
How are we complete opposites, like in our personalities?
Personalities wise, I don't really know. I can't think.
See, I would have answered this question in the fact that I'm very impulsive and just generally chaotic as a person.
That's your ADHD.
Yeah.
You said not to mention that.
Okay. Well, it not just how I move. Like, I'll be very much like, oh my god, let's go to the park. Like, off we go. Like in my head, I'm very much like, why are we not there already?
Yeah.
Whereas, and when I make decisions, I can be very much like that as well. Whereas you will sit and think.
Weigh up the facts.
Yeah.
I do the pros and cons list of everything.
And I'm like, ripping the paper, screw the list, let's go.
And I'm like, no. See, but that's down to my fibromyalgia as well, because I have to factor everything in order to live my life as best I can, basically. So I suppose that does boil down to, again, my slothy fibromyalgia-ness and your cheetah ADHD-ness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Describe me in 3 words.
Annoying. No, I'm joking.
I think that's how my husband would describe me too.
Right. Excitable.
I feel like this could be like the personality bit that you do when you make a sim on Sims 3 or Sims 4. Like when you pick their personality traits.
Yeah.
Have you never played that?
No.
No, okay. Anyone who's played it will know what I mean.
I've seen... Yeah, okay. So excitable. Kind, as I've already said, you are very, very kind and loving and warm. And third, I want to say impulsive.
Yeah.
But I kind of don't as well, because that's not really I suppose it is a personality trait, but it's not.
Not necessarily a good one.
No. I suppose it kind of comes under excitable as well, doesn't it? So, short.
I'm 5'2", and Miss Lofty here is 5'6" ish.
I'm not lofty.
Compared to me, anyone who's over 5'4" is lofty.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the one that we answered on your channel as well. Who takes longer to get ready?
I can't remember how we answered it on my channel because
Stacey said it was me, and I said, no, it's not, it's you, but that's not your fault because I move really, really fast, as previously discussed, and Stacey moves really, really slowly. Also, I have 3 children to also get ready, so me getting ready is kind of a last priority, whereas you can go a bit slower.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I have lots of things I have to be out of the house for at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
I don't. My alarm doesn't go off until 9:30.
Yeah. I'm up at 6:30 every single day. And Stacey has always been the kind of person where there's only one kind of 6:30, and that's around the time
that the sun sets.
Yeah, and that Simpsons comes on.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, Simpsons come. So, this one made us laugh hysterically on your video. So if you want to check that out, you'll have a giggle too. Do you have any nicknames for each other?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Oh yes, we do. Let's start off with the sweet one. Bista.
Bista. Not like bestow, like
no.
Bista.
No. Bista.
Bista.
Because she's baby sister.
Big sister. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And which gets shortened to Bist
Yeah, Bist.
as well.
It also gets lengthened to Bistaboo, Bistabookin.
Yeah. Not entirely sure where that came from.
No.
I think it just is one of those things.
Yeah, it just evolved on its own.
Yeah. And your favourite one?
Earmuff.
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 Yeah. And yours is Stacey.
Yeah.
Both names come from the same story. Would you like to tell it?
Yes. Our oldest brother had a Spanish fiance at one stage in his life, and she would pronounce my name as Stacey.
Because all of the S words have an
N.
Yeah.
Stacey. And yours was Irma.
Which she thought was hilarious.
Because it sounded like earmuff.
And I tried, like, no, it doesn't.
Earmuff.
No, it doesn't.
Earmuff. And it's stuck.
Are you sure it's me that's more annoying?
Earmuff. She knows she is. Do that again.
I was expecting you to lick my hand.
That's why I asked you to do it again. Just didn't occur to my brain until you'd gone away together.
Okay. If you made me a sandwich, what would you put in it?
No dairy.
No dairy.
No dairy. I would use vegan margarine or sunflower spread or something like that didn't have any dairy in. And I know you like, even though I'm vegetarian, I would put in yours chicken.
Nice.
Sweet corn.
Yeah.
Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a bit of lettuce chopped up in there as well.
Nice. I would totally eat that and I would enjoy it. It'd be one of the kind of sandwiches. Yeah. I want more, please. It'd definitely be one of those. What would be my dream job? Now, if she watches my videos on my channel, then she's already got the answer to this. We'll find out now. Oh, actually, you know, saying that, even if you have watched it, she's probably forgotten, so it's fine. This is a brand new question. What's my dream job?
And calm. See what I mean about the ADHD? I just sit back and wait. Okay, so when I was a little bit younger, I found out that I was basically infertile, and I know that your dream job back then was to go into some sort of not contraception.
No, that's the other one.
That's the other one.
That's when you don't want to get pregnant. Fertility.
Yeah, there's a word beginning.
Conception.
Conception. Yeah.
Yeah, not contraception. That's
the other one.
That's the thing I do now.
Yeah, you wanted to go and be like an IVF consultant, nurse, something like that, something to help, because she could see from growing up and living with me how badly it had affected my mental health, I suppose, and how upsetting it was for me, and you wanted to not only help me but help everyone else who was going through the same. So
I did get quite close as well. I went to university. I did shadowing at a fertility clinic, and I even went to university to study nursing. But it turns out I don't like sick people, and I just couldn't. Yeah, male urology put me off nursing for life. Could have put me off men for life, to be fair. Some of the things I saw.
But there we go.
Yeah. What would my dream job be now, do you reckon?
I think it would probably be something to do with horses.
Apparently Rolo, Stacey's dog, doesn't like that idea.
Do you not want Auntie Emma to work with horses?
He says, no, I want her to work with cute little dogs like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so are you closer now? Are we closer now than when we were younger?
Again, like you answered in my video, our relationship has gone like that.
Yeah.
We were very, very close when we were really young. Then we sort of separated a bit when I got into the teens and you were still annoyingly playing with dollies. And then I got into older teens and you got into younger teens, and although...
Was a moody pain in the butt.
Oh my God, you were so moody. She was. We were just like... We'd hear the key in the door and we'd hear slam! Stomp, 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 stomp. Thud! That was the school bag on the floor.
Because I never used my locker, so my school bags were, all of my school books were in my school bag.
And then we'd go to the bedroom and slam, and we'd go, oh, Emma's in.
House shaking.
Yeah, but so yeah, I think we kind of, we're close, we're apart, we're close, we're apart, we're close. We had a massive fallout, and now I think we're actually closer than ever, even though we don't speak every day, we don't see each other week in, week out, although we could do, but it's, you have a very, very busy life with your children and hubby and baby and dog and horses and everything.
Yeah.
And I have a busy life with my wife and dogs and my bedroom.
She doesn't mean that in a naughty way.
No, I just said no, I have a very special relationship with my bed because I'm chronically ill. So I spend most of my time in there. Yep. Are you coming up?
Okay.
Come on in. Hi,
Here
he is.
Guest starring Rolo Lake.
He's so cute. He's so cute. I love him.
Oh no! Oh, look at him. I love him.
Good boy.
Okay, so these are the specific questions that I have wrote just for you
Okay.
about the things I talk about on my channel.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Number one, what do you honestly think about my choice to home educate my children?
The home education, I was a little bit worried about because I was like, well, how is it going to be regulated?
Yeah.
Like governed, or I don't really know the right word, but like I was like, well, how is that going to work? You know, are they gonna be are they going to be like educated at home, and then when it comes to exam time, are they going to go into a school for exams? I mean, do you get sent a pack of exam papers and you do the exams at home? And you know, because I didn't know anybody that had been home educated, and I didn't know what it entailed and anything really. It just, home education to me is like when you're very, very rich and you have a private tutor.
Yeah. Because
I didn't know anything about it. So, but yeah, that was my main concern, was like, well, how do we know how the kids are, you know, is it going to be okay? And then I was worried that it was going to be too much for you as well.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it now? Now you know all the things we do. And
now I'm like, get on with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me at all.
I think that's been the response for a lot of people in our lives that aren't obviously living in our house, is that they're like, well, you know, what are you going to do? Are you actually capable of doing that? You know, are they going to learn anything and stuff? And then when they actually see the stuff that they're doing, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think
maybe it is okay.
It's a lot easier because you've got more one-on-one. It just
makes sense. now you understand it.
Like the actual schooling that I received didn't set me up for an adult life at all. In fact, I think actually it kept me quite closed off from the real world, and then suddenly you're let out into the real world and you're floundering and you haven't got a rubber ring to grab hold of because, well, you're over 18 now, you're not our problem.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that we come up against when one of the things that we respond with is, well, our kids are in the real world all the time. So let's move on to my second question for you, which was, how did you really feel when you found out that Charles was autistic?
I thought, finally, somebody has taken notice. I felt relief that it's not the autism that I have the problem with.
Yeah.
It's the ableist world that we live in who has a problem with the autistic people that live in it. And I was like, finally, he can say to people, well, look, I have this, and therefore you need to help me in this way. And it's kind of, a lot of people see it as oh my God, he's autistic, oh, he's going to have to go to a special school.
I've had people say sorry to me when I've said it, like, oh, well, he's autistic. And they go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand why they're sorry.
I don't get that either.
No.
But I'm like
you clearly have not spent any time with him.
Exactly.
To apologise. He's
exactly. And
awesome.
He's amazing, and his autism is part of him. Just like autism is part of my wife, you know? And without that part, they wouldn't be who they are. They would be somebody a bit different, and that's not...
Certainly you marrying someone with autism, and who's actually incredibly like Charles, but a grown-up version.
Yeah.
I've got a text message. makes me really hopeful for him as an adult that he will find someone, hopefully as awesome as you, who sees him and really, really sees him and is like, and sees what I do when I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, you are so cool. And you're so funny and you're so kind and you're so thoughtful and just would bend over backwards to help somebody. Yeah. And that someone will see that in the future and fall in love with it, like I fell in love with him when he was first born.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we had some people in our lives who've apologised, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like it's a really, really bad thing. Like I've just said, he's got cancer, and oh, I'm so sorry, and I'm like, it's not life limiting. Well, depends on the circumstances. But it's not life. It's not his lifespan is not limited in any way. He's not ill,
and
he's really, really happy.
Yeah, funnily enough, he hasn't changed since he's had the label put on him. No, and he's actually Charles.
Yeah, and he's really happy. Sometimes he'll say sometimes he'll say to people like, oh well, I do that because I'm autistic, and just says it nonchalantly in conversation, like you'd go, oh well, my hair's blonde or whatever, like, it's not a big deal to him. It's just like him saying, oh well, I really like taekwondo, I'm autistic, like it's just a thing. And that he,
I'd like to think that Katie has had a big part in that, because she says to him, well, I'm autistic, I'm Asperger's, which is part of autism.
Yeah, he also has...
He sees that from her.
He has lots of people, again, in his life, like Katie, who also are on the autistic spectrum, that he always refers to as having superpowers. And a friend of mine, Holly, said to him when she met him, hey, I have superpowers too. And he was like, oh, you're autistic. And she was like, yeah. And he was just so really excited. And then another really good friend of mine, B, said to me, I've thought for ages that I'm autistic. And Charles was just like, oh, that'd be really cool if you were autistic too. Yeah. Like, hey, join the club. We're in a gang together.
Exactly.
An autistic gang where we talk about the things we're interested in and not anything else. Luckily, I think they're in like lots of, he just has lots of people in his support network. The dog's butt. Oh, no. Lots of people in his support network that are also autistic, which helps with his self-esteem, I think. So anyway, and the last one,
right, try to make this one a dogless one.
Yeah, I'm going to evict the dog. The last one, if you were never going to see me again from today, and you could give me one piece of advice that would last me for the rest of my life, what would it be? And she hasn't asked.
That's made me really sad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad.
I've actually got tears in my eyes from that.
You are going to see me. You can see me tomorrow if you want. Yay!
That's okay then.
Yeah.
I would say just keep being who you are. Just stay true to yourself.
Getting more emotional now.
There we are. Totes emotion.
So, thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been great to have my sister on my channel. If you want to check out our first video, which was Stacey asking me questions, you can check it out on We Are #Casey Lake, which is another YouTube channel starring this one and her beautiful wife.
And I believe you're going to put the link in the
I
description.
am going to put the link in the description.
Hooray!
Thank you so much for watching. If you've got this far, congratulations.
Yeah, well done.
Give
Kudos.
yourself a lollipop.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Subscribe. Bye.
Oh, we're recording.
I want to see your reaction. I want you to see your own reaction.
I like sour stuff.
Not even flinching.
I know.
That was really
That's how I used to do tequila salmos.
That's really disappointing. We'll be socialising with.
I think we just run out of battery on the big light. Bear with. Okay, we've sorted out the big light and changed the batteries over. As you were.